いや、1試合目のトラウマがありますね。 BLG ランブルとベルベスに破壊されました。ジャーバンとバイバンしていく。オリアナ開きましたよ。これオリアナ開いてます。当然取りますね。
So the thing that's interesting to me here is back in game number 1, we had the Jarvan banned, we had the Vi picked, and then Bel'Veth was the AD jungler that came out. This time around, Jarvan, Vi, Bel'Veth, they are all banned away. The Poppy also being banned. That's 4 out of 6 champions in this first phase of the ban being jumped.
これボット面どうなるのか。アッシュとりあえず取るのか。バルスもセットか。アッシュサポートに対してはケイトリンサポートが出ました。さっきの試合ボット面はケイトリンサポート側がかなり有利取ってました。ジャングルの手厚い介護もあったんですけれども、それでもケイトリン側が勝利。そしてセジアニジャックス。ビンの最も自信のあるチャンピオンですか、ジャックスは。
From the last time that they were on blue side, where they actually first picked the Jax. This time the Orianna wasn't banned, so they grabbed that because the Vi was banned out. That would have been the change for Weibo.
ジャックスはザシェイの8ロックスに
So they are going to have that incredibly strong top lane pairing. The Rel comes through.
どこぼこでした。
We are assuming that this is going to be Weiwei's pick, of course. Yes, there is in theory a chance that it's going to be Ashe AD.
これ8ロックスバンするのか。どうなんだ BLG。 8ロックスバンしてもザシャイなら何でも出してきそうだな。グレイブストップまで出してきたからな、さっき。
They're trying to think one step ahead on the side of Weibo, and they're saying, all right, what would you try next? What would be the next kind of evolution of this?
タムケンチ版、セナタムケンチを嫌ってますか、これ。
As an answer to both the Syndra and the Ashe, it's a really strong answer that Tom Kench being able to have the Devour.
お、ケイトリンいなくなったということは、ケイトリンサポートでのカウンターができませんよ。
I think it's really smart
BLG
because it's so good against 2 picks that they already have in their draft.
And then again, you can kind of see on the upside, Caitlyn are going to be taken away. Rakan
Rakan
be the other one. So I think Weibo are trying to say, hey, look, let's
これザヤは取れないか。
try and play this poke heavy style and like outlane you when it comes to the 2v2. But I'm kind of curious.
バルスはどうなるんだろう、これ。バルス。
Is it going to be the Kalista ban? Is it going to be something like the Varus and you force the opposite one?
Yeah, it is really interesting. And also, is BLG going to go more towards
バルスとカリスタがどうなるのか気になります。
When you have it pairing with that Orianna, you do generally want some sort of engagement.
カリスタバンしました。これバルス飛ぶんじゃないのか。
If you do draft a standard bot lane, do you just get absolutely clobbered by Ashe plus another AD
どうですか。
carry?
And this is where I think you take the Aatrox into the top lane for the Shy and you leave open that flexibility because I think you need some sort of damage if you want to try and flex this Ashe into it.
クイーン。
Okay.
ジャックス相手に。
talk about this because I've given up talking about this because the only reason I've seen play this is
マジか。今大会初ピ
But you
ック。
can cleanse Quinn into the Jackson top lane. It is incredibly difficult to play. You actually use the flip on the leaf strike from the Jackson, interrupts it, and makes it incredibly difficult to play around.
And the Shy was the first person to bring out
でも今取る必要あったのか。
into the Renekton, and now we're getting to see it here against the Jax as well. This is such a sick pick, and I love how the Shy is just like me. We want more. This is everything.
I mean, I respect it, right? You know, you're the one.
そうか、ザシャイ今日誕生日らしい。
The Shy
誕
is
生
now
日
with
プ
the
レゼントに
hot
ク
hand.
イ
He's
ー
been
ン。
crushing this series.
ご褒美
He's
クイーンで
my
す。
MVP of the series so far. So give him this pick, give him this ability to try to outplay Bin and really dominate him.
ミリオじゃなくてレナータなのか。
And Shun is going to be hyper.
ミリオがよくセットで使われてましたけど。
When Shun was the jungler for IG, he brought it out. They played heavily up around this top side to make sure it would work out. So this is going to be heavy, heavy.
確かにプロでクイーン出たの世界大会だと2019年にカーンが使ってたのは覚えてます。
So incredible at setting up these engages. When I look at Ashe and I look at Syndra,
お、
you just
ハ
gotta
イマー
point
サ
and
ポー
click
ト
the
か。
ulti on their head from a screen away, and that is gonna land. And then you have the follow-up potentially of that Orianna ball.
アッシュ
waiting
ADC
for
のハイマー
the
サポー
Jax
ト。
of that
ただ途方チャンピオンが多いですよ。
But the bot lane 2v2
途方チャンピオンが多いということはバードのウルトでキャッチできるということですね。
But the question is, can you get there? Because the top lane 1v1, very difficult. The bot lane 2v2, very difficult. So I do think that is going to be the question. Can they actually stabilize? same thing here in the top lane. If you can get Shun up towards that top lane and kill off the Shy, force his cleanse, you can all of a sudden take those all in. You can win 100-0 plays as the Jackson in this matchup if the Quinn does not have his cleanse. So it's going to be really, really interesting. And maybe he's not even going to go. Maybe he'll just play that TP style or Ignite or something else. But you know, generally when they play it against Renekton, and generally when I've seen it played against Jax, it is about the cleanse.
これプロトッププロ同士のクイーン対ジャックスどうなるんだろう。
2020 Worlds was the last time we see it, and I think this is a really cool matchup to see how well.
見せてほしいです。楽しみなマッチアップ。
Incredibly strong performance against him this time, but as you say, I think it's kind of a case of okay, let's put the resources up there, get way to play on this top side once more, and if you force that isolation, well, now you've got an Ash Heimer on that bot side that's going to have a ton of pressure. Like, it feels like a lose-lose nearly unless you can get this early lead on that top side.
But honestly, I don't think you have any ability to really make something happen as Shun on the
僕
bot
は
side anyway.
何日か前に AT ガングプランクやりましたよ。
They're likely gonna have the push. There's gonna be cleanse on the Ash. They're gonna shove you in.
試合には負けました。
So I feel like you need to play towards top, and it is TP on the Quinn. So I think you full send it towards
ATGT
the
は
Quinn on this
オレンジ
Quinn.
がう
If
ま
you
すぎ
can
なん
get
です
out
よ。
of this flash, you can get 100-0 CC easily by a Sejuani plus a Jax. You've got to be so careful about that
リ
because
ッ
if
チ
you
ベイ
fall
ンでダ
behind,
メージも
all
悪
of
く
a
ない
sudden you walk back
そ
to
ういう
lane
チャン
and
ピオン
you're
で
just
す。
getting jumped on over and over and over.
負けまし
And
た。
they're really playing for this side lane brush in top lane. In these melee versus range matchups, it is ridiculously important to be able to deny that ward and get it for your team.
Wei-Wei, he's in some trouble here. Bin's made his way up. Counter strike coming in for the stun. Wei-Wei gets away with the
あ、
crash
バー
down.
グのイグナイトがなくなった。これ、
Very
これ
fortunately
ジャ
for
ックス
Wei-Wei,
のため
he
に
doesn't lose
ブッ
the
シュに
flash,
ワード
he doesn't
差し
lose
に
his
来て
life,
あげたんですかね。
and he's going to reset to heal up in time to not be behind in the jungle.
Exactly. So On is now going to be
ト
down
ップの
that
プッシュ
ignite,
に。
you know, not really getting
あ、
anything
刺
from
さ
it.
ない。
And Elk
な
is
る
going
ほ
to
ど。
get pushed out. And this is going to be him taking a little bit chip, not a lot, but he obviously won't have time to base.
I think the thing is though, you force the Shy away from that top brush, which is your win on the top end of the map, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
お
you will
互い
end
ト
up
ップ
having
に
Chris
視
be
界はあ
able
り
to
ま
do
せん、
whatever
ブッ
the
シ
hell
ュ。
he wants with his turret, so I imagine he'll set up in that very front turret.
試合には負けました、僕の ATGT。途中まで勝ってたので、精神的勝利です。
And you can see Elk knows how heavy the poke is going to be in this
オ
lane.
リアナ対シンドラの伝統的マッチアップですが、ミッドレーンは。
Where it is all about the poke, it is all about avoiding that, and he is stacking those turrets up there. And Bin just
お、ジャックスフラッシュイン。
to respond flash likely, but he's using that fleet footwork proc.
いや、フラッシュインした割には体力有利そこまで取れなかったぞ。切れてます、ビン。これ、ザ・シャイフリートフットワークありますから回復できますよ。
Especially when you committed the flash, because that's generally your play. Is you wait for your jungler to come up, you E flash, you stun him, and then the jungler falls up, and you hope you get a kill. But the fact that he actually committed that, and the fleet forward proc was there, and he just kind of walked away. But he's going to play it aggressive, and you have to be willing to do this in these melee versus range.
グレーブスドッグの時もロングソード詰め替えポーションスタートでした。
And you will not have a chance. So every time Leaf strikes up, you basically have to jump on him, and
お、
you're going to be
悪
having
撃
to
パンチ
be
で
willing
ダメージ
to
トレ
play
ードを
these
してい
really
く。
kind of razor thin margins where you're putting yourself at risk always.
ジャックスフラッシュはない。
He waits until the counter strike is about to expire, and then he fires with the enchanted auto attack.
ジャックスはマナつらいですよ、このチャンピオン。ビスケットをむしゃむしゃ食べながらトレードをするしかない。フラッシュで逃げますね、シンドラ。
That'll give control to Yago over this mid lane though, and you can see immediately Shun starting to move in. Wei-Wei spots him, misses the crash down though, and Shun would be able to take a good chunk off the jungler as well.
いや、ちょっとシンドラ寄れないぞ、このファイト。
Exactly, and it's red buff
寄れない、
advantage as
それ
well
は。
for Shen, so he's just going to keep going, trying to poke him down, and now he can move up towards that top side,
体
continue
力結
harassing
構
him, deny him
削られちゃったな。
potential red. I think he saw his
ネッ
jungle
トバフ
fight,
持
so
って
he
るから
should
セ
know
ジュ
that
ニ
he's
は
moving
どんどん
up
回
towards
復するけど、
Krugs. You can continue contesting him if he wants, but it's just going to be Shun
エル
starting up the
レ
red.
ッドバフ持ってないの
He's
で
gonna get both of these reds, should be able to maybe move back down in towards the river and grab the scuttle as well.
I think he then needs to make a trip top because you can look at where that wave is stuck for Bin. It's not in the best of spots. He really needs to crash that, and Wei-Wei has healed up, so he's going to be in an okay spot.
やっぱりザ・シャイさんは詰め替えポーション買いますよね、ポーションじゃなく。
We'll leave Elk still
詰め替えポーションはゴールド攻撃とてもいいですから。
He's doing all right when it
Should
comes
be able
to
to get to
CS.
this. Oh, no. Okay, there we go. Yeah, That's nice. Just delay the recall a little bit.
いやー、このリコールストップでかすぎる。でかすぎる、これは。そしてバードがいないことが分かっているので攻めていく。いや、これリコール止めたのは大きいけど、ボットのレーンがアフェルスンブーツとポーション4つスタートでしたね。ブーツがないといろいろ避けられないか。
Yeah, and at the moment, I will say for BLG, they're doing a good job of managing what wave we're trying to achieve. So, Bin burnt his flash, but because Shun has been active on the top side, it's made it difficult for Wei Wei to really try and contest. Despite steal for the level up, though. Bin, that one hurts a little bit, but it's still, again, you're keeping control for Shun on this top lane, but Elk is going to need some help in a little while. This lane is going to become more and more oppressive.
Crisp is doing a really good job with the rockets, tagging him multiple times there, and you can see that Shun is not covering any potential dive on top side. This is kind of similar to what happened in that last game where it was the Jax. He didn't cover and then ended up having Bin get really punished on that dive. In this case, we know, of course, that Wei Wei has based.
アフェルス体力苦しいけど、バードの W で回復できる。このバードの回復アイテムは10秒経たないと回復量増えなかったんですけど、今5秒で増えるのでかなり強くなってます。バード君の勝率もソロ級勝率もすごい高くなってましたよ。
And he's putting in good work. So I think now that Light and Crisp have that opportunity to play that little bit more aggressive, you'll see them leaning over towards.
クイーンはスタティック支部購入しますね、おそらく。ウェブクリアが弱いので、支部でそれを解消していく。ウェブクリアが強くなればローモンもしやすいチャンピオンですから。ジャックス TP がある。TP で戻ってこれる。
Because he didn't have any info on where Wei Wei was, so it's definitely a tough spot now for Bin.
いやー、ハイマーがいるとドラゴン狩るの早いですよ。
They're taking Dragon, but Wei Wei's at half HP. Ygal's rotating
over.
Shun ready to come in over the wall.
Dragon
Wei Wei should drop here. The flash has already been used. He wants to try to re-engage, but they have the damage to bring him down. First blood money goes over to Elk, and now Chris has to try to flash to get away over the wall. Shun's in hot pursuit, and he needs a little bit more from CC. The high is stunned up and gunned down. Elk gets the first 2 kills of the game.
That is massive. Getting those kills for Elk is such a big deal.
可能性もありました。クイーン。
He's in this position where he's supposed to be the one taking that punishment, getting beat down on the bot side, getting him first blood, and the second is huge.
But this is where we start to see the faults of Weibo coming back to bite them. They didn't need to fight that. They didn't need to overextend. They got the dragon, get the hell out of dodge. But instead, they end up giving those kills across because they think they can take the fight. And BLG are happy to get some gold onto that bot side.
I mean, it's tough, right? Wei Wei was really low in this position.
ドラゴンを代償に2球取られちゃったな。レイとハイマーのフラッシュもなくなった。これドラゴン取られたけど BLG いいですよ。ストームレイザーの MS 増加でジャックサイト有利を取っていくとトップレーンクイーンのフラッシュがなくなりましたか。
Skeet shooting in the tunnel, knocks him out of the sky there. Elk on a killing spree now in the bot lane, and Bin.
ハイマーバードのゲートの中で死亡。
That wave that was pushing out from Bin, where he TB back and tried to fix it. The shy kind of overpushed, and the wave was stacked towards Bin. He took a cheater recall, walked back to lane, and it meant that the shy had to push up to actually try to fix his wave. And then from that situation, he was able to look to trade flashes. And now I'm calling for my jungler. Get up here, get up towards top. Kill this Quinn and put me in a position where I can take some plates, and then you can own that top lane.
All right, and that's what I was going to say. Take the fight at Riftchild here as well, because the Shy without Flash isn't going to be able to enter this fight, because you can immediately turn a Shun. You can set up with Yagao. Like, this is where it becomes really difficult that you don't have that early setup for the Quinn. So now Bin going to be in a position where they can give some of those resources back, especially with Elk having 3 kills on that bot side. He doesn't need as much.
We've been seeing fights for these Rift Heralds in this series, but that one has no resistance from Weibo as BLG can take it. There were no flashes available for any player on Weibo. In fact, the only flash that's currently up is the Felios in Elk. Not really a fight that you want to be taken from Weibo's side. It'll remain a 3-0 game. It'll remain almost a 1,500 gold lead for BLG.
You can see though that Weibo are trying to see if they can cover where that potential
トッ
Rift
プは
Herald is
200 ゴールド
moving
差
light towards mid to try and
ボ
hover
ッ
there
ト
for
で
a second
1000
to
ゴール
collect
ド
the
差あり
wave.
ます
He's gonna now move back towards
3
top
キル
side,
取ったからな
honestly, if I'm Shun, I just go right. I'm gonna clear out my top side jungle, wait for Bin to slow push this wave into the top side, and then we crash it with On already having pressure here, and the Shy can't really do anything about it. Even with Weiwei here, a good ult from On, if he hits that level 6 before it comes up, will change everything.
And that's why I think Weiwei isn't going to wait around behind him. He's going to move up into that lane, make sure that he's in position to be able to respond. Good vault there from the Shy, interrupts the Q. But this is where the problem comes, if you're not way ahead, is that the Q from Jax is a way lower.
いやーだいぶのカウンターに入れるが準備してます。いや嬉しいなこれトップレーンとしてはだいぶされたら終わっちゃうからな。
Coming out from Weibo on the ward in the middle of top lane that Yagao would have been able to teleport to and find a further counterattack. So BLG call it off.
Chris though, still stepping up, doesn't have flash. They know that.
Shun,
ハイマーノーフラッシュ
He's gonna lock down
ノーフラッシュのハイマー死亡
Money for the carries. BLG finding it 4
ハイマーはクリスセット行くのかな
And that
多
play
分
that just went down mid, I don't think anyone was actually in range to get it, but Elk potentially in trouble.
Yeah, Elk had to pop the cleanse already, trying to get away from Light. Now flashing to try to escape Xiaohu. The follow-up.
おおシャットダウン開始したシンドラが開始したけどシンドラもやられますね
Good punch there from Weibo, but it's a great counter punch. And
これ
now
ダイブできるか
Bin, this mind game, can he actually use that counter
難
strike
しくないか 無理でしょう
Shy and Weiwei are
初
not
手クリ
done
ジェップで
yet.
すか
Still stepping up, still chasing him away.
お金がないなりにかなり仕事できるアイテムですか
Weibo
ク
saying,
リ
hey,
スセッ
look,
プ
we're not even looking at Dragon. We're just going to try and get some resource onto the Shy. So
タレットがスローばらまいてくれ
I
る
think you'll move mid. You'll be able to crack open 2 turret plays there for yourself, lean in towards
メ
the
イジサ
Dragon.
ポートダメージはあんまり出ないけ
They
ど
just lost complete control over the bot side because of that first
2600
Dragon fight.
かそう
And
か
even with this TP play, they thought maybe we can get something to work in our favor before we kick off this next fight. But the fact that you already
アフェルズフラッシュを取ってさらに
シ
ャットダウンも開始したナイス
and still BLG have control in this bottom half of the map.
At the very least, they get the summoners though off the Aphelios, so maybe an angle to try to make something happen on him. With Weiwei having flash, Shun is gonna have to get out of there, but Crisp is behind him. This is gonna get a little bit weird, but I think he should be okay.
Yeah, Arctic Assault over the wall. Only the Heimer is waiting.
いやバーノがいる逃げられるこれは
Really long
trying his
time now,
damnedest.
so he doesn't do a whole lot of
Why
damage
rush?
to Shun. Flash out from On to escape the stun from the grenade. Weibo bringing up more to try to find a collapse here, but Bard
いやハイマーのいい一発でバードのフラッシュ取ることに
Well,
成
this is
功
actually really big for Jax though. You just get a little bit of time in the side
ドットレ
lane,
ン
be
ジャ
able
ッ
to
クス
get
だ
some lead
フ
play,
リー
be
で
able
割
to
ってま
get
す
some uncontested gold, and you can drag yourself back into this matchup. He's honestly been doing pretty well, you know, given the counter pick here from the Shy, and given the fact that he hasn't really gotten much help from Shun. It's been mostly isolated 1v1.
お
Maybe gonna get chased down a bit now though, we'll see.
Yep, the Shy's going after him, but because of the fact that he went those plated steel caps, he gets away for now. On with a tempered fate, follows it up with a binding. Only stuns up Weiwei as Chris walks away from it.
Yeah, good guy Weiwei trying to get in front of it there a little bit, but there's the ult.
いやバードやれるかこれゲート間に合うか間に合っちゃった
Anyway, he gets away all the way back behind the turret, and Weibo's best efforts still come up a little short.
バード
The thing
最
is,
強
you're preventing BLG from being able to set up with this Rift Herald. You can see it's getting very close to timing out, and they just don't really have control over the map. So Shun, I think, has to start moving down towards his bot lane and say, hey, look, we're just going to try and do something. You can see there, actually, doesn't even get
Gento
time. He just
入っちうめえ
immediately tosses in a mid lane.
And this is why on Bard you can go these tankier builds, right? He's going
세잔이
relatively
더
fast all these, but
Shun stunned
お
up.
お今の Q で抜けられるのか
Flash away, so the Syndra can't
Oh.
follow it up with anything else. Unleash power on its own was not enough to secure the kill. The Herald
セジャに体がでかすぎて Q が敵にぶつかっちゃうんですけど今のよく抜けられたな
They shut it down before the charge.
And now Shun is low, so if you're Weibo, you push mid, go for
まずい
Dragon.
ボットレンジャックスがフリーでプレート食べてますよ
Trying to take this tier 1 on though cost.
On again, under some pressure, but again getting away thanks to the magical journey, just taking him through the shortest amount of terrain. Bin at least picks up most of that turret down there in the bottom lane. Not quite all of it. The turret
ちょっ
plate
とこ
still
の試
standing
合
for
はウ
another
ェイボ
15 seconds.
苦しい
Was
か。
enough to give the thing enough damage resistance
あ
to stay standing.
クイーンシブですね。シブ買いました。
Being able to get that Herald off. That first one especially, that's just free gold, right? That you're going to be able to drop down. You just drop it in range of a tower. You're getting a couple plates. You're getting quite a bit of gold. That's a kill
ウェーブ
worth
クリア
of
優
gold
先というこ
that
と
they
です
just
か。
missed out on for really no reason. Bin though did get quite a bit of
確か
time
に
in
ウェ
bot
ーブ
lane.
の
The
処理
Shy
に
started to
早い
move
わ
around
け
the
じゃない
map
から
more.
な、ク
And
イー
when
ン。
Bin gets the one item and the Shy is still just on this shiv, I think there's definitely opportunities here for him to make something happen.
Oh, the Shy.
で、今の帰れたんじゃないのか。
back here, but a TP is coming in to reinforce.
Oh.
On and Shun together do not have enough
死なない
damage
なら
to burst
OK
him
と。
down in time with Xiaohu teleporting in. Scatter the Weak will not find a target.
Look top though. I mean, Bin again is just being a nuisance on
Free time.
sides. I mean, that was more
No, no,
to
but
see if they could catch Xiaohu, I think, on the reset. That's not really going to do much, but I think the big problem is, sorry, the Shy on the reset, but
これ
the
リ
problem
コー
is
ル
this
止めようとしたのか
static
な。
shift Quinn
バード
isn't
が。
far enough ahead to take
クイ
over
ーン
the
の。
game, and if you're not in a position to take over the game, Bin
いや
is
この
just
試合
going to
今までとはちょっと違うぞ。
And
ビ
look
ン
at
が
where their position is
サイ
now.
ドで
Weibo
ずっと
can't
フリー
even
ファーム
test
して
the
る。
dragon hunter. They look like they had full control of.
Yeah, exactly. It gets really, really tough, you know. And Leaf
トッ
Strike
プ
right
のゴ
now,
ールド差
7
全
second
然ありませ
cooldown.
ん。
Quinn E, the 10 second cooldown. But as you get more CDRs, you get those items coming in for the Jax. It becomes
それは今まで
really
の試合
different,
とは
right?
全
You know,
然
Jax
違
later
う。
on in the
ト
game,
ップレーンの
there's
ゴー
like
ルド
a
差
3-4
全然
second
ない。
cooldown on your Q, and he's just
今まで
jumping
こ
on
の
you
状態
nonstop.
です
Then
で
this
に
whole
1000
interaction
ゴール
that
ド
makes
と
the
か
matchup
差があ
so
ったの
positive
に。
for Quinn stops really mattering because it's like, great, you vaulted his Q, and then he Q'd you again.
And I think a large portion of that is the fact that the bot lane isn't going the way it should for Light and Chris.
クイーンを借りに来ました。テレポートです。これ
And this is going to catch him as well.
フラッシュあるけど逃げられるか。
Bin jumps in for a little bit more
う
shot.
まいフラッシュが。あはーでもジャックスのフラッシュで
And
クイ
then
ーン
you got
死
Rip
亡で
Trail
す。
that's just spawned as well. So at least you get a second attempt here for BLG to crack that into one of the turrets. But Bin is already cracking heads in the top side. He's going to be able to take this turret as well. And it just feels like BLG, they've weathered the part of the game that they needed to. And now they're getting to
まあ
live
ト
their
ップ
best.
とボットの
See,
交換
Gao
に
is
なりそう
quietly
ですか。
having a really good game. That
Oh,
TP
yeah.
down towards bot side to punish Xiaohu. Now a TP up towards top side to help Bin.
でも
Should have
BLG
been,
かなり有利ですよ。
less active than his mid laner, it feels like. You know, Gao has kind of been everywhere. Those early kills that got Elk going really, I think, made this game so difficult for Weibo. And the fact that Shy is not able to create this massive advantage that he has been in these other games is putting them in such a tough spot. Now they have to kind of really depend on picks.
ジャックスはリワークされて A のモーションが結構優秀になりました。あれ使ってて結構気分いいです。
targets are squishy, so the percent HP damage isn't as valuable, and the extra utility of the Trinity Force giving you the speed as you chase targets, very useful in those sidelines.
Exactly, and now he's just going to keep jumping on the Shy.
リワークというかモーションのリワークかな。
That wasn't going to get anything done.
あれで操作しやすくなりました個人的には。
Xiaohu, on the other hand, definitely making things work there against On, going to force him back. Weibo are going to start up this Rift Trail, but I mean, with BLG in position and Jax now threatening your bot side turret, you can't stick around here, Weibo.
Yeah, exactly, and if they can stop the Shy from going back.
いやクイーンがローもして敵の体力削るけど決定的な有利にはつながってませんよ。その間にジャックスがどんどんファームしてます。
But On is here to help. Oh, they find the tempered fate.
まずいです。誰か。
Just gets punished. Huge moves coming out for BLG. It's going to set Bin up to be able to take out this tier 2 turret.
まずい。
Enemy top laner down. That's so much of that
まあ
mobility.
敵がボットに人数割いてるから他の場所で何かしたいけど。
For the top laner at the moment, but in mid.
Oh, nice shutdown coming out for Weibo. It's Xiaohu getting the kill as Elk is ignited and forced to fall back all the way
俺
into
ら
tier 1
倒すことに成功。
TP coming
シャ
in
トダウン
now
も
to
開
try
始。
to help him out, help make this defense. Tier 1 turret not dead just yet. Bin has arrived, takes a
ジ
little
ャックス
damage
が
as soon as
TP
he
し
gets
てど
there.
うにか川を守りました。
Weibo could even go up towards the Herald now if they want. They are moving up towards that side. We'll see if they started, if it's just going to be a move to push out that top wave. But On has been so
いや
good
結
on the
構
board this
クイ
game.
ーン
He's
が
really been riding that line.
難しい
You
状
want to be
況にな
harassing
っ
your
てます
opponents.
ね
You
これ。
want to be making them use
ジャッ
those
クス
spells
と
on you.
1400 ゴ
And
ー
he's
ルド
going
差がつい
relatively
てます。
defensive build, you know, gets the early mercs to deal with a lot of the CC. And I think we're going to see quite a few pairs. We already have 3 done on BLG this game.
Oh, yeah.
And they are looking really, really good.
And you saw briefly on your
苦しんで
screen
ま
as
す
well,
ザ
a
シャイ
1,000 gold lead for Bin now on
まあ
his
クイーン
back.
チャン
I
ピオ
think
ン
he's
難
gonna
し
be
い
feeling
か
a
ら
lot
な
more comfortable
運
in
用
this
が
game 4 than he has throughout the rest of this series. And
完
BLG
璧にやらないといけないけど敵のガンクで苦しんでます
trying to push him bot side, but he's a long way from hitting any of those towers.
I just don't really know how the Shy is going to play it out now. You know, generally when you fall behind as Quinn, your team fighting is pretty hard because you're relatively low range and there's a lot of CC over on the other side that could get you burst down. You can't win the 1v1 against Jax. So then your option, especially with these Shiv kind of builds, where you just kind of ult to a side lane, you push out the wave, then you ult and you go somewhere else. You look see if you can group, find an odd number fight, then you go somewhere else. You just keep kind of
タン
playing
トレって何です
this
か
like guerrilla
ちょっと
tactic
考
style
えた
where
ん
you're
です
just
けど分
pushing
かりま
waves
せん
and
で
you're
した
looking for 2v1s. You're looking for
タントレって
3v2s.
何
You're looking to use the speed that your ultimate gives you to move around the map because you're not strong in an even fight anymore.
But that's why I think things like the Bard are such a good answer here, because you can slow down that opportunity by ulting your ally to make sure they're safe, or even using a magical journey to travel your team around the map to try and match some of that speed. So this just becomes incredibly difficult for the Shy to try and operate. And from this position, BLG, yes, they don't have the dragons, but
誕生日プレゼント
they can
確か
start
に
to force team fights, they
ザ
can
シャイ
start
の
to play
タントレ
position. You just don't have the control you need
Queen
for
だ
this team as Weibo.
Yeah, and I think if Weibo aren't set up first, any objective that you try to walk into where BLG are already there, you're going to force the flash from Xiaohu or Light so easily with Onzol. And if you don't have that, you're just dead. I don't think there's really much of an ability for them to kind of protect and keep people away.
Ooh, tempered
swing and
fate.
miss.
Not going to connect that one, so Weibo will be happy with it. The Shy trying to use that speed again, jumping in after Bin,
ジャックスに
chases
攻
him
撃
through
し
the
て
leap
いく
strike, all the way back to his own minions, finds
体
a little
力
bit of
3 割
poke.
削
But
りました
meanwhile, the Rift Herald summon up in mid lane. Unlike the first one, this one's going to get the charge. Tier 1 turret finally breaks. That's 4 turrets to 2 for the side of BLG.
And Yagao was pushing bot lane, and now they're going to
まずい
TP
で
on the
す
Shy.
ザシャイさん
Shy's the target. Magical
まずい
journey
です
coming up for On as they immediately arrive with a TP from Yagao. No way out for the Quinn. The arrow comes in from a long way away, but it's not enough. Another kill over to BLG. 8-2 now.
3 straight TPs from Yagao, resulting in kills. Mr. Worldwide for BLG right now.
いやこれ敵がトップに3人いてザシャイ倒したのにドラゴンまで取られるぞこれ
Big base dominated in the bot lane, keeping things clean and sparkly in the top lane.
And he's got teeth now as well, because he's got a couple of kills himself. But for BLG, just give him the opportunity to go for Dragon here and get something as well. So for Weibo,
いやこれ
I just don't know
ザ
what
シャイ
to
も
do
取られて
here.
ドラゴンも取られて
Trying to play for side lanes is just completely out of control.
Weibo
Lane is massive with 2 items now completed. He was
苦し
talking
い
about, hey, look, getting
とても
that
苦しい
cooldown on the leap strike, Spear of Shojin going to help out with that perfectly.
でも
And
ザ
you
シ
can
ャイ
just
さんが
chase
や
the
られる
Shy
とき
down now in these
毎回
scenarios.
テレポート使われてるのでこれはワースなんじゃないですかね
You're hoping that you can hit an Ash
What?
ult on a squishy target and burst them down, right? And that is going to be really just the Orianna, but it becomes very, very difficult as they're just making these plays. This is how Quinn wins matchups, is you have to push, you have to play aggressive, you can't play slow, or every time you're fighting, Jax will have leap strike and you'll just lose, right? It's just kind of how it works. So you expose yourself to
まあ
getting
クイーンも
attacked,
ガン
you
ク
expose
耐性
yourself
がない
to these
チャンピオン
TPs. It hasn't even been about Shun getting up there and helping Bin at
ああや
all.
って
It's been about
囲まれて
Yagao,
しまう
it's
と
been
何
about
もできませんよ
Yeah, I think
ク
it's
イーン
amazing to see Yagao kind of have these moments, because we just said coming into this draft, hey, look, the whole story for the summer matchup between BLG and Weibo, and a lot of BLG was Yagao getting onto his roaming champions where he can be a Talia, where he can get an Annie, start to roam, have an impact in side lanes, and set up for Elf, set up for Bin to be the main
ジャックス精進できた 強い
traditional sense, but as you've been pointing out, Azale, the TPs from Yagao have been crucial in keeping control in this game.
Exactly. Orianna, not a roaming champion,
ま
not
あ
with
ク
that
イーンのいいと
attitude.
ころはリコールしてたらレーン復帰が早いしロームも強いところですね
All over the rift. We're talking about having the second completed item for the Jack.
でも
In the jungle,
BLG
it's the
が
Abyssal Mask, already done for the Sejuani. Does a
クイーン
lot
に
to
キャッ
amp the
チされ
damage
ないようにうま
for
く
Jax too, 'cause remember, he's a split
う
damage
まくプレイしてます
champion.
よ
And BLG now moving into the enemy jungle, placing down some vision, removing the wards of their opponents. The Baron
ク
is
イーンの
up,
ロー
and
ム
they
の
wanna
タイミン
scare
グ
Weibo
伺
to
って
have
る
a
んです
check,
けれど
and
も
they should
タイ
not
ミン
do.
グないです
And I
ね
mean, for BLG, it feels like they're trying to power some of that 2020 Suning to see if they can try and push their ways in towards finals. It feels like they're kind of the ancestors, with Bin still being there on training under Sword Art to now be popping off on the Bard as well.
クイーンこれ
I
何
think
カウ
this
ン
is
タ
where
ー
BLG,
ゲールフォース
as long as they can play it slow, as long as they can keep control over this Baron,
ジャック
they
スが
should
カウン
be
タ
able
ー
to
ガ
push
レン
us
出
towards
すし
that
か
game
ないか
final.
We have to take a step back and realize that this is now, assuming
チャン
this
ピオン
goes
パワーでは
to
グ
stock,
レ
and
ガスと
big
カレンで
advantage,
は
looking like
ガレン
the
の
favorites
方
in
が
this game.
ずっと
If they
強い
win,
で
that's
すから
4 straight blue side wins, and it's 4 straight dominant wins from blue side. None of the games have actually been very close across 4 games, right? And that would mean Weibo would be back on blue side for game number 5. And BLG would have to problem solve in the draft, figure out what they're going to do. But for now, they're going to be the ones starting at the Baron and trying to force Weibo's hand.
Exactly. Weibo had both solo laners down there in the
クイーンで寄ってますよこれ。いやクイーンはミッドのウェブ先に処理してます。相手はバロンやめてクイーンのキャッチに行きます。
And you can see how quickly the Shy can get to the top side, but you can see how quickly the Shy needs to exit as soon as he gets there. BLG quickly turning on him to make sure that now he's uncomfortable because not only does it make him more difficult for the team to have the flash down, but in the side lane, that opens up Bin to very quickly jump onto this Quinn and just make sure that, well, if Xiaohu isn't there, that's a dead bird.
That's a solo kill waiting to happen, absolutely. If he shows up, Bin is going to Q on him, he's going to E it, and then he's going to flash on your face and you're dead. There's not really any way out of that from that position. The Shy now, though, does get the Gale Force, so has a little bit more build mobility with that. But I don't know if it's really going to be enough at this point. His Bin is so incredibly strong. Yagao so incredibly strong. All the carries are really fed on the side of BLG, and it's just a matter of them playing a clean game from this position, which thus far they've been doing a really good job of. They're just trying to continually contest vision up around this top side, up around the Baron, and force Weibo come in, and then look for picks.
I think it's also been a great performance from On as okay, there we go. Xiaohu gets the same
ジャックスのフラッシュにシンドラフラッシュで反応したけどバードが来てますな。バード大きいに見えるなこれ見てると。
And that's exactly what I was going to say, is that On feels like he's been everywhere. He's been covering top side. He's been roaming mid. On has had a fantastic game on this Bard, and he's been such a big playmaker for BLG. Now he's getting to make his name in the semi-finals to see if he can take down Weibo here.
Weibo feel like they gotta do
いや人数振りはあります。ウェイボー応援されたのがレルなのでまだどうにかなってる。レルがタンクしてるかなり。でもまたバロン止めたぞ。これシンドラ戻る時間ができましたね。いやバロンやれないでしょ。ちょっと厳しい。運命の調律。あ、アッシュ死亡。タイマー死亡。まずいです。ウェイボーさん。ああ。
BLG only lose their support and they ace Weibo.
Yagao is just going crazy.
もうさすがにバロンやられます。
Popping off, takes down light, flashes in aggressive into the bot lane in the 1v2.
ちょっと苦しいた。
And
ちょっと苦しい。
BLG onto the Baron here. Bin gonna be zoning out Weiwei. There's no way in.
Yeah, it might be full HP versus 20% HP.
レルだ。レルフラッシュでバロンスチールや。いやちょっと無理ですね。この試合多分勝てないでしょう。多分勝てない。意地は見せましたけれども。
While the CC goes on to Weiwei to keep him in check, and then it's just a case of falling back, drawing Weibo in once more, and waiting for these cooldowns to come back up, so you can actually start to turn this fight once more.
Exactly, Weibo are starting to really chase in. You watch the Shy as well as Xiaohu. They go over on the magical journey, and Yagao says, I see an opportunity here. He catches light with the ulti, flashes forward to follow. The rest of the team piles in, they get the kill, and then they can just retreat back here. As On is another binding. Yes, he goes down, but not without getting a huge play for the team.
Also, massive aftershock proc coming in from Shun at the end. Right as the ultimate from Xiaohu came out, got the aftershock proc, so he didn't go down. I was able to buy the CC alongside On to finish off Xiaohu so no one dies. And now BLG, you just get to push in, you get to play the game as he wants.
This has been the Dragon Soul lot of 3 Infernal Souls in this series that are actually up for grabs in a lot of poke-heavy comps. This one not so poke-heavy for BLG, but who knows if it's even going to last that long. They have the Baron, they're pushing in, and there's not really any recourse for Weibo.
The Shy had to use the Gale Force to get away from the Tempered Fate. Mid lane, tier 3 turret already gone. The one in bottom under a lot of pressure. Weibo trying to find any sort of a chance to punish these guys. On again, just so slippery on the Bard. Impossible for them to lock this guy down.
守れない。守れません、タワーを。クイーン見つけた。死ぬとこれ。
It's a 5v4, and BLG is kicking in the door against
足もフラッシュない。
Is enough with the shockwave.
どうしようもないんですこれも。
Do it. 2 more down, 2 left to go. BLG wants
しょうがないんですなこれも。これもまた。
Chris and Xiaohu can do nothing to defend. The Nexus turrets are reduced to dust, and we are going to
GG です。
It's time for game 5.
There was no other way
いやクイーン
that
ト
this
ップ。
series could have ended. Game
クイーントップ
5 is
機能
on
せ
the
ず。
cards. We've seen the ups, we've seen the
潰されました
downs of both
敵
of
に。
these teams, but
GG で
only
す。
one of them will get to advance to the World Final.